remember growing up telling people that I was a ski racer and them laughing at me. Oh, you want to be the next Eddie the Eagle? No, I want to be good. I want to be known because I want to be the best. I really got into racing at about age 5. I was really keen on the kind of freedom of the sport, and having older brothers and talent around me very much helped me fast track my performance. I didn't really know that I wasn't supposed to beat the boys when I was growing up. I had this incredible confidence in myself, gave me my identity in a big family. For the next few years, I had a very clinical upward journey with my performance. I got 2 podiums in the Youth Olympics. I knew how to be my best. I knew how to ski free. I didn't let the pressure weigh me down. I wanted to be the best ski racer that Britain had ever produced. Around 16, 17, I moved into the adult level of ski racing, and there were massive expectations on how I'd perform. This is a sport where millimetres are the difference between success and falling over. But I started stopping to take those risks. I started skiing within myself. I found this incredibly dangerous platform of performance that was 80%. I was underperforming the whole time, and I was choosing to underperform. I kept 20% in my back pocket. And it took this run in 2008. I was in Solden. It's one of the gnarliest World Cups of the year. It's super steep. The women and the men race the same track. And I remember it was just silence around me. I was really struggling to handle the pressure and the expectation because everyone was so invested in my performance. One of the girls had been disqualified, so I was back in. U-turn, crazy drive up the mountain. And I remember standing in that start gate, and I finally had this freedom, this like eureka moment of, there's no pressure on this run. No one expects anything. I don't expect anything. Nothing good can happen right now. And that was the run. I made history, and I became the first British ski racer to ever win a run in a World Cup. All my team had seen me in training deliver all the time and then choke in a race, so they knew that I could do it. Whereas it took me to have that run to believe in myself. It's so easy to sit here and say, take those risks, accept failure, learn from failure, but it's really hard to deliver that and have the confidence to go, you know what, today I'm going to go out there and be 100% of myself. You'll probably fail far more than you will achieve, but you'll have an incredibly satisfied existence. Because every night when you go to bed, you can say, you know what, I've been the very best version of myself and been the best that I can be. I think the reason why skiing is addictive as a sport is because it's almost unnatural. You're strapping into wooden planks, you're pointing these downhill, and you're going 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. You're just in this kind of focus tunnel of freedom. It's almost like your brain and your feeling and your senses go into your feet, and you're at one with the snow, and you're just so fluid and connected in that moment, and that's how I feel when I ski. I love racing. I feel like I'm born to race. I've married a ski racer. We have competition in everything in our lives, from who can eat our food the quickest to who can ski a run the quickest. So it was really hard for me to retire, and actually I don't think I would have retired had it not been for my last surgeon. Before Sochi, I broke my leg 3 years in the 4 years prior to that. And the issue was, when I crashed in Lake Louise in 2010, the bones of my right leg broke through my ski boots because of the G-force on landing. That was my first crazy big injury at a time in my life where I couldn't heal that quick. Just before Sochi, I broke my leg again, and I thought, this is it, the dream's over. And sitting down with this guy in Zurich, and he said, okay, it's going to be super quick, in and out. If it's not super quick, you'll never be able to ski again. And I woke up 8 hours later. And I said, how long was I in surgery for? And they said, 6 hours, you're in surgery for 6 hours. So straight away I go, that's it. It was all over. My dream, not just ski racing, but everything for me in the mountains was over. The next morning, I remember this so vividly. I was in, the lowest I've ever been, and he was smiling, and I didn't understand why he was looking that way. And it took a moment to realise that he'd done the surgery that I needed to ski again, but he hadn't been able to tell anyone. And the reason it had taken so long was because there was no chance of him just dropping this metal pin down, and he had to manually chip away for 5.5 hours to make a hole big enough in my mashed up bone marrow to get it down there. I had 10 hours where I believed that my life wasn't worth living anymore because I couldn't ski. And I know that sounds dramatic, but this is before I had a husband and kids, and it was who I was. And I just remembered again crying, but like this time with elation. That was amazing. I had this incredible surgery and I went to Sochi. I remember finishing my last run at the Olympics and BBC being there ready with the mic for me to announce my retirement. And they're like, right, Chemmy, this is your moment. Right, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? And I said, oh, I'm not retiring. I'm going to keep going. And then the World Cup after that in Crans-Montana, I crashed and my leg felt strange. So I went to see the surgeon again in Zurich. And he said, listen, I saw what it meant to you to get to the Olympics, and so I did everything that I could to let you ski one more time. But if you ever break your lower right limb going at speeds, you will have to have your leg amputated. You have got no bones there. The scariest part of my life wasn't throwing myself down a downhill. It was that moment I decided to no longer be a ski racer. My identity was so closely knitted and intertwined that I couldn't separate Chemmy the person from that. I think that inhibited my freedom and probably was the reason why I had that fear of failure and I couldn't get out that 80% vicious circle of performance. I've made my life now on the other side of ski racing and being a coach and presenting on TV and being a mum to boys who love skiing. I mean, this is something that I could have selfishly really parked and gone, no, I want this to be about me, whereas I've had my time. I did 4 Olympics and it was an amazing journey and it taught me so much about who I am and who I can be. Life is only going to keep going from here. I work in a job where it allows me to be part of the mountain and go out there and respect this incredible nature that I get to call my playground. There is nothing more serene, there's nothing more that makes you feel at peace and at one with these incredible surroundings when I'm the only person on the mountain and the sun's coming up and the snow's pink and hearing absolutely nothing at all.